So here we are on day 6 of the peak of this gradual intensity continuous training. So we're on our 6th day. I'm backing off the continuous aspect of it and going into a split routine. I did misquote some things. I was factoring in my body weight with the push-ups, and I kind of just included that with the chest exercises. Like these green bands are moderate to heavy intensity. And anytime you see with bands, like this says it's between 50 or 70 and 130 to 155, depending on the product, colors and so forth with different brands. But at the top, that might give me, at the top of the motion when there's a maximal stretch, maximal tensile stretch, tensile strength, it will be like maybe 150 pounds. At the bottom, the variable is like less than half of the total stretched tension that it supplies. And it works a lot like the sliding filaments, you know, when you look at Huxley's sliding filament theory. So the top of that motion, if you're not getting and maximizing that top, or you're almost locking out, if not locking out, you're really not getting the greatest benefit to the band training. So you really need to try and get a band that you're capable of doing repetitively at the top of the motion. And if you go in at times just undulating in a little bit more explosiveness during the peripheral amortization, load explode movement where you're recoiling, i.e. you're coming out of the eccentric, going into the concentric, exhaling, you know, you want a nice controlled stretch, but you also want to allow a little bit of explosiveness. So really what bands do is they allow you to work with your body weight and they create drag. That's really how you should structure any sort of band training exercise program. Are bands enough? No, absolutely not. I've tested that theory. Are bands and unstable surfaces like suspension trainers enough? No, they're not. It really depends on what kind of sport you're working with. If you were doing like speed, agility, quickness type training, you could get away with it for a little while, but there's a point where you have to work directly with gravity. I'd say the only time that this has been challenged for me is when I was working with like Kaiser pneumatic air type equipment, where it takes gravity out of the situation and you can just continuously do drop sets. I love the Kaiser brand. I love training with Kaiser equipment. In my opinion, you couldn't get in any better shape, especially if you're using the squat apparatus for what it was made for. It's not like some, you know, low quality hydraulic pistons that you're working with. I mean, it really is pneumatic air. But with that, the technology, the equipment has to be kept up to par.